Hello and welcome. What you're about to see is a completely unrehearsed, uncensored, and unedited interview. My name is Lawrence Carpetburner, and my cigarette is a pulp cigarette, the cigarette you never smoke. You merely hold. The time is the indomitable present. The city is New York. And tonight I put my elbows on the table to ask penetrating questions of one of the world's most arresting characters. Today we meet Harvey Dodge, Pecos Valley cattle rancher, who was accused of murder by the violent cowboy Suicide Lee Weston, but not just any murder, the murder of Suicide Weston's own father. Thus began a very tempestuous rivalry between two larger-than-life figures. Sir, welcome. Good evening, and thank you for agreeing to talk to us tonight. Mr. Dodge, let me ask you something very directly. Did you kill Suicide Lee Weston's father?
No, damn it. Although I had every reason to. Old Tom Weston was a rustler, but I don't operate that way. There's a law to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. And yet, Tom's son Lee said about you recently on this very program that he could think of only one thing, of finding you, Harvey Dodge, and pouring 12 slugs into you for murdering his father.
What'd you expect that young owl hoot to say? He's the one with a bloody reputation. I came to Pecos Valley with nothing but my bankroll and my daughter Ellen. It was my intention to...
And yet with Tom Weston out of the way by whatever means, you certainly wasted no time in buying up his ranch, the Thunder Bee.
It wasn't the Thunder Bee. It was the Lightning W. No. I mean, well, sure I did. Why shouldn't I buy up the best grazing land I could?
Well, couldn't you have waited just a little, just to be polite?
Now look, Mr. Cummerbund, what you don't seem to understand is we're talking about a raw, untamed land. This was no patty cake party, and a man had to act fast, or he'd end up dead broke or just plain dead.
Well, what I understand is that Harvey Dodge likes to play the game his way and is singularly impatient with those that don't see eye to eye with him, including his own daughter, Ellen.
Now, you leave her out of this.
Ellen Dodge. Bright, pretty, and soft-hearted, characteristics that are the exact opposite of her cantankerous rancher father. Even she got on your nerves, didn't she, Mr. Dodge?
Ellen is, headstrong.
Mm-hmm. And when she took pity on the wounded Lee Weston, your rival, and nursed him back to health behind your back, how did that make you feel?
Well,
Like you'd been betrayed, ridiculed, slapped in the face? Like the one thing that was more important to you than cattle or money had been taken away? Like your heart had been ripped out and stamped upon the dirty ground?
Let me answer the dad-blame question. My daughter Ellen has a way with wounded critters. And I guess she just fell for this skunk Weston because it's in her nature to help pitiful things.
Well, Mr. Dodge, let me ask you just one more thing. You aren't used to not getting your way, are you?
No, and I don't fix to commence getting used to it neither. Now let me ask you something. What gives you the right to cast judgment on me? When did you ever do a hard day's work in the sun and the wind? Do you even know how to rope a bronc?
Well, I visited the bronc.
Well, did you?
I milked a cow once.
Milked a cow once, did you?
Mm-hmm. At a petting zoo.
Mister, you're exactly the reason why the West is going to hell in a handbasket. I'd sooner Ellen married a gun-slinging, bloody-minded hothead like Suicide Lee Weston than a sow-belly like you. A petting zoo.
Well, a petting zoo may not be 1,000 head of cattle, but to a young, sensitive man, even an udder full of milk is a terrifying experience. And I'm fighting back terror to let you know that this is the end of the interview.
What a pitiful piece of milquetoast you are, carpetmonger.
Never mind. And our viewers can decide for themselves about the relative guilt or innocence of Harvey Dodge and Suicide Lee Weston by picking up their own copy of Branded Outlaw by L. Ron Hubbard, newly published in paperback and audiobook form from Galaxy Press, available wherever books are sold. Get into the action at goldenagestories.com. I'm Lawrence Carpetburner, and I'll see you again when next I put elbows on the table. Oh, well, if you'd prefer to drive a motorcycle, that's fine.
A motorcycle? I said a Piedmont.
Which is a
Horse.
By all means, saddle up.